Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome here to the Apex East Series here at Richmond, playoff race number 2. And not quite the cutoff race yet, but man, it is getting heated as we get ready to move on to the next round. Got just a few drivers here tonight. Looks like maybe 15 or 16 drivers, which is pretty low for tonight, but got some people that are out as we try to get the sound back going. As iRacing their Windows seems to change it after every update, but we're here at Richmond and we've got a few minutes just left in warm-up and getting ready to get this thing going. Richmond's going to put on a great show, but a lot of interesting things going on with the playoffs right now in the round of 16 and getting ready to attempt to get down to 8 drivers. So we're going to cut this field in half. Let's go ahead and look at of course, the playoff bracket as it stands now. Chris Carroll, after winning last week, is locked into the top 8. That means there are 7 more drivers who can transfer to the next round. So, is where he won. So you got tonight and got Kansas next week to transfer everybody over to the top 8. Let's look at the standings. As it stands right now, Chris Carroll topped the board, but he is locked in. And you see the battle right there for 8th place is really, really, really tight. I mean, gosh, you look up there at Chris McLean at 2040, and then all the way down to 11th is 2030. So just 10 points separates in that Aaron Adcock right now in the cutoff position for the playoffs. Of course, a win will get you in. So any of these drivers on the list right here, if they win, they'll get into the playoffs. So some guys going to try to make some strategy up tonight and get themselves into the playoffs. If you're at the top, you're just, of course, you'd love to win, but you need to just manage your points gap and try not to get into too much trouble. With only 16 drivers, it's really going to be hard to make that happen. So everybody should be safe just down at the bottom. It's going to be where all the battling is going on. Now, some interesting developments. You'll look on the standings right there. 4th place, Chris McLean, Jason Raymond. Let's see, Aaron Adcock, who is right there on the bubble. All these drivers not here tonight, so I'm not really sure what's going on. But those drivers not in the field, so that's going to really shake up the top 8. Those drivers may find themselves in a must-win position. I don't know if there's provisional points or stuff given out in the playoffs, but if there is, that'll help them a little bit. But still, real interesting to see some playoff drivers, some main players not here tonight. But that's a good opportunity for some folks down here at the bottom, down here from Anthony Edgerton all the way back to make up some ground and get in the top 8. But getting ready to grid up, give out the Chuck Pegleg Pole Award winner. If we can get it to show up. There it goes. A little bit of tough deal there. All right, so the Kinder Farmer Ranch starting grid Pegleg Pole Award is going to go to Chris Bedwell, doing what he's got to do to get out front early, starting on the pole. Needs a win to really solidify himself. He is up there at the points, but he going to have a good race tonight, I would imagine. Outside front row, Garrett Kinder. Starting 3rd, Willie Evernham. Justin Miller starting 4th with a great qualifying effort. William Griffith starting 5th. Starting 6th, Charles Stevens Jr. Starting 7th, Matt Rogers. Starting 8th, Chuck Phelps. Starting 9th, Alan Smith. Starting 10th, Kyle Roberts. Starting 11th, Chris Carroll. Starting 12th, Ray Rogers. 13th, Todd Schott. 14th, Dana Shepard. And Tony Edgerton bringing up the free of the field in 15th. That's your Kendrick Farm and Ranch starting grid. And so, like I said, already laid everything out on the table. We've got guys that need a win. Some guys that just need a really good race. You want to stay out of trouble. This is one of those races that, maybe it won't end your playoff run, but sure could hurt it. You would try to do the best you can to get as many points as you can tonight, hold that position, and be there next week when it matters. As you can see on the front windshields of these, you see the highlighter green. You see that. That means that they are playoff drivers. So be on the lookout. Those are your playoff contending drivers. You see that banner. You know that they're in the playoffs as we speak. We're going to cut it in half in the next couple weeks, though, as get ready to thin this herd out a little bit. You can see not too many people showing up. Seems to happen whenever playoffs start. Guys feel like they don't have a chance. I don't know. Don't want to get causing playoff drivers issues. It seems like every league that I've ever been in, playoff racing has always seen a drop off of participation. So, but interesting to see some guys that are in top 16 that I thought were pretty much shoe-ins into the top 8 not showing up tonight. So we'll see what's going on with that. But Chris Bedwell going to lead us down to the green flag, and green flag is out. Barney waving it as we see what Richmond has in store. Very, very fun racetrack. Lots of grip everywhere. Tires, I don't know if tires will be a huge issue, but we'll keep tabs on that. You really want to be able to run the bottom, get those left side tires right on the yellow line, and get on the gas as soon as possible, and carry as much speed down the straightaway. It's pretty much same thing every week. So far, so good for Chris Bedwell as we go back here and see Matt Rogers making a move on Charles Stevens. Caution's out. My goodness. Tony Edgerton, number 77, playoff driver, sitting sideways on the front stretch. Go back and see what happened here. Oh, looks like two drivers. Oh, Kyle Roberts and Justin Miller get together. And Tony Edgerton really didn't do anything. Just got into the grass and got her spun around. But it looks like it all started with Kyle Roberts here in the 35 truck and Justin Miller. Let's go back and see what happened. Coming off of turn 4. Looks like two drivers, not really sure where the other one was going to go. Justin Miller obviously thought that Kyle Roberts was going to go out to the wall as you kind of fan out the corner. And Kyle Roberts staying sort of the middle. So just a racing deal there. And you got a couple drivers coming down pit road. Ray Rogers, Chris Carroll. Chris Carroll obviously locked in, did not qualify. So he said last week, give him a chance to kind of, do some strategy calls, try some stuff, learn some things. And, so tonight, obviously, starting in the back, just taking it easy, trying to make sure they maybe didn't get up into the mix early, let those guys battle it out since he locked in. Not sure. He is currently running in the 14th position after that pit stop. Ray Rogers on pit road as well. I don't know if he had some damage in that or what. Now, I said it was Justin Miller. Let's go see. It may be. Oh, it was actually Ray Rogers. So I'm sorry, Justin Miller. Yeah, for some reason I thought y'all's paint scheme looked really, really similar. Yeah, it was Ray Rogers that got into it with Kyle Roberts. So sorry, Justin Miller, who is he's running up in the top 5, running a completely different paint scheme, but it looked just like his scheme. So I thought that's who that was. So but Justin Miller, he is up here in the 5th position, having a great qualifying effort, looking to get himself up front. A lot of guys who could really, really make next week a lot easier by getting a win gonna be tough. Chris Bedwell, Garrett Kinder. I think there's a pretty big gap there, but obviously Chris Carroll, Ray Rogers has had plenty of race winning speed all season long. William Griffith though can get up there and sneak in there and take a win in that Pepto-Bismol 12. Willie Evernham, he's sort of, man, you just never know with him. He can beat fast at this track, and then he'll run mid-pack the next, and then he'll come back and be running up front at this track. You just never know with him. So, a lot of these guys up here, Justin Miller, Alan Smith, Charles Stevens Jr., we know he can get it done. So a lot of guys in this field that are able to get a win with some guys out, some really strong drivers. Tonight might be the night to get it done. Right now, Chris Bedwell has the lead as we get going green on lap 7. And we are back racing. Let's go back here. And Charles Stevens looking down to the inside of Justin Miller, not quite able to make that stick just yet. It's Todd Schott. Alan's been best to get out of the gas just a little bit. You see all kinds of different lines of guys driving really deep in the corners, guys really taking it easy. Richmond in the truck's pretty fun. I like it. It's got the right amount of racy. You can really get in here and race somebody and get up on the outside and make it stick. Just got to be careful with that turn 4 exit as that right rear will come out from under you. What I expect to see a lot of here is a lot of runs down the front straightaway, maybe some dive bombs down into turn 1. It's really inviting to go down there and try to sneak that nose in there, so you might see some accidents and stuff come out of that. Right now, Chris Bedwell out to about a half-second lead over Garrett Kinder in the 13, and about 0.6 of a second back to William Griffith. Long race here tonight. I think 133 laps. Of course, the laps are only 22, 23-second laps, but that's a long time, so you really need to settle in. If you're in the top 16 of the points, you're really not too nervous, as while a win would get you in, with only 15 drivers in the field, there's no reason somebody out there won't maybe gamble on 2 tires or try a fuel strategy, something to make up some track position late in the race, green, white, checkered, something like that. Try to make something happen. You really can't lose that much. So, who's going to roll the dice? Who's going to do something tonight to try to get a win? We know Chris Bedwell and Garrett Kinder are going to be extremely fast, but those two get up there and get to racing, get together, and I think the door is wide open for a first-time winner. Kinder would like to be a first-time winner. He is yet to win this season. Missed a few races. Look at the standings. He is only started 13 races, so missed a few. But big old goose egg in the win column. And Ray Rogers, another one that I'm really surprised that has been unable to get a win. Of course, Chris Carroll been hogging them all, man. Just 8 wins on the season. Just not interested in spreading the love, I guess. But had a fantastic season. Of course, this season's been really good. I've really enjoyed the race, and I think it's been compelling, even though we've had a sort of a dominant truck out there as far as the season goes. The racing has been really good. As we watch the battle for the lead, as Garrett Kinder starting to slowly creep up to the back end of that 95. See, he's trying to take it easy. Get hard into the corner, let the brake, turn the car, give it a little bit of wheel, then back on the throttle off the corner. They're definitely having to be tender with it. See, a slightly different line. The 95 running about a quarter of a lane up higher than the 13 4. Getting that right rear up on the out of the groove a little bit. Looks like Bedwell has a really bad turn 1 and 2 as the 13 gets a huge run down the back straightaway, and right there on the bumper, Kevin Kinder says we need a win. There you go. That may be all he needs to get this done tonight. Win and you're in. Move on to the round of 8. Lock up that second place or second playoff position for the next round. I know Kansas, while a lot of fun, is a big draft fest, and it can be an annoying track, hard to pass. So if I'm Garrett Kinder, I want to get this win tonight. And if I'm Chris Bedwell, I mean, anybody that's hitting the playoffs right now, getting a win tonight would make next week just so much easier. Don't have to worry about a thing. Chris Carroll out here winning 8 races. He's just out here cruising, saving that truck. Oh, Dana Shepard goes through the grass, gets a little bit loose as he was side by side with Chuck Phelps. Able to hang on to it, did a great job there. Ray Rogers on the move, going to the inside of Todd Schott. Bring Chuck Phelps along with him, along with Chris Carroll. Got 4 sets of tires tonight, 75% fuel as always. So some interesting strategy. Now, normally with these shorter tracks, don't use as much fuel, so you'll see most likely guys just need to make 1 pit stop. So right around lap 70-ish, I would imagine. I'm sure they can make 70, no problem. Let's go up front. Peter still nose to tail. You see that pink Pepto-Bismol truck in the distance. He's not letting him get away too far, along with Willie Abraham, but it is heating up right here for the lead. Oh, you see them as they both come off the corner. You see the back end kind of sliding out as this truck gets tighter and tighter. You really put more and more gas in it off the corner to get that thing to rotate, and it will slip out in front of you, or behind you, excuse me. Richmond really, really wild when it comes to tire spin. Just the elevation. You see the banking, how the banking kind of gives you a big old hug as you go down the corner. And as you come off the corner, especially off of turn 2, man, it really unloads, and you have to be careful. You got to be prepared for it. Chris Bedwell starting to maintain that gap, maybe pulling away just a little bit faster last lap. Garrett Kinder not letting him get away. As these 2 fastest drivers on the track. Chris Carroll, Ray Rogers also running right around the same lap time, so. I would imagine Ray Rogers and Chris Carroll, there's really no strategy here, as there's really not tire sets to save, I don't believe. I mean, we'd have to have a caution right now for maybe that to flesh out, but I think they're just taking it easy, being smart, making sure that nothing goes, of course. Carroll already locked in. We talked about that already. Ray Rogers is far up in the point standings, so really tied for fourth. Of course, we're playing out tonight. That would give Ray Rogers sole control of that fourth position. Probably third. Yeah, third place too, because Jason Raymond also not here tonight. So Justin Miller going to the inside of Willie Evernham. Willie seems to be going backwards just a little bit. It's already dropped 3 spots from the drop at the green, so maybe already burned those tires. Of course, when you get up in the high side here in Richmond, it's easy to kind of maintain, but very hard to fight off the person on the bottom. Eventually, they're going to get you, and so he's just kind of stuck up on the outside right now, having an issue getting back down to the bottom. So a lot of people taking advantage of that. Really great racing going on from about 5th on back to 7th place. Big group of cars here. Is some guys moving up the field, some guys falling back. Of course, with a 15-car field, and in Richmond, just in general, Richmond always, for some reason, seems to have the ability to put on some long green flag runs. Not really sure what it is about this track, but always seems to be that way. So definitely possible to see some green flag pit stops tonight. If you're Ray Rogers, Chris Carroll, start in the back, kind of taking your time. Some 7 seconds off the lead right now. There's going to be a lot to catch up if we stay under green. Dare I say impossible. So we're going to need a caution flag to maybe get back into contention for the win, but they're slowly making their way through the field. Ray Rogers now goes to the inside of Justin Miller. Miller going to try to fight back a little bit, protect that inside to keep the 97 behind him. Enters into 3 and 4 in sort of a defensive position, but Chris Carroll is there. Chris will get the run off of turn 4. Got Matt Rogers coming in to make a pit stop. Don't know if it was scheduled or it has to do with that damage you see there on the right side. As you see the crinkled up hood there right above the right front tire, and you see that 96 bubble bowl on the right side all scraped up. Looks like it's coming down to get 4 tires of fuel. May be able to make it from here. A lot of times, like I said, these short tracks, you can go a long time, sometimes over 100 laps. So you may be able to make it here, make up some time early, jump over some people. Go back up to the front, check it out. Chris Bedwell now out to a half-second lead as the tires have definitely started to wear out. Lap 41 of 133, so less than 100 laps to go, so not too much time. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody else decides to do what Matt Rogers is doing. Come on down pit road. The danger, of course, is that Matt Rogers now 3 laps down. So he giving himself sort of a disadvantage. Didn't took his fast repair, so he may have some damage that's going to prevent him from making up any time. See, Matt Rogers definitely has a tire advantage, just not. I don't think the truck's handling good enough. You see, in the middle of the corner, he's much faster than Garrett Kinder, but just not able to do much with it. Kinder's able to stay in front of him. So I guess Matt Rogers has some damage. I can't imagine he's already used his fast repair, so I'm not really sure. Not sure what's going on with it. But back here, Ray Rogers has gotten to the back bumper of the 12 machine. Chris Carroll in tow as they run down the front runners. Comparing lap times, Ray Rogers, Chris Carroll, the fastest two trucks on the track. As of right now, we are well over a second drop off on our times. Started off right around the mid 22s, and right now we're in the upper 23s. So tire wear definitely a big factor. Watch this battle. Griff fighting hard to stay in this position. You definitely see he is not giving any room, not going to give it up. You're going to have to take it from the 12 machine. As the 97 goes around, takes advantage of that, goes around the outside. Let's see if he can do anything with the 12. Willie Evernham comes down pit road. Take 4 tires and fuel. Great battle. This is for third place. This is a podium spot right here. This is an interview spot, as I like to say it. Chris Carroll gets that nose up under the 12. Well, he's going to pinch it through there. Let's see if the 12 gives him the room, and he does. Chris Carroll, you see him sliding a little bit going into the corner. Love to see that. They're fighting hard, but I think right here, Chris Carroll will be able to get that middle to exit speed. He takes over third place. If I'm going backwards, I think a good strategy call would be to come on down pit road, get those tires, and make up that time. Like if I'm Griff right now, I'm thinking, man, I ought to come down pit road. But the danger is, you know, if these guys stay out as long as they can on fuel, they can stay out for a long time. And come down pit road, you really got to hustle off the pit road, make use of that time. And hope there's not a caution. If a caution comes out, that really hurts, as you're going to go multiple laps down here. We've seen a couple drivers do that. Matt Rogers comes down pit road. We'll see. Oh, Alan Smith right in front of these guys. I don't know if he got loose or he's just kind of slow on the track, but yeah, it looks like the 3 has some damage, so trying to get on pit road. We can go back and see what happened to the 3. He may have been trying to get on pit road and missed it. Oh man, yeah, this is gonna hurt. See, he misses pit road. I don't know if that's where the damage comes from, but wasn't able to get on pit road the first try. Gonna come down now. Gonna need a caution to get some help there, but down takes his first set of tires. Back up at the front, though. Garrett Kinder making another charge at Bedwell. Bedwell kind of extended that lead a little bit. And Garrett Kinder working to the back bumper of that 95. 95 is going to start to get into lap traffic here in just a moment. See Tony Etchiston in the 11th position. Right up ahead. got close there between 13 and 77 coming off that corner. Garrett Kinder trying not to give up too much to the 95. It's just so tough as somebody is on your outside. They're probably just trying to let you go. As you come off a 2, that's like the worst place to catch somebody, as your truck will not turn down low. You really need to use the whole track, and it gets very, very frustrating. Right now, Bedwell, Kinder are your leaders, but Chris Carroll now about 2 seconds behind these guys. He is really starting to hunt them down here late in this run. A little bit of tire saving. That may have been the strategy there. Save your tires as much as possible. But he is currently in the 3rd place. He can almost sniff the front run. Ray Rogers right behind him at 51. Both of these drivers up 8 spots. Back in 5th, William Griffin, not a playoff driver, but having a fantastic run in 5th. Starting to see his tires starting to go away now as Charles Stevens right behind him. Making up some ground on the 12, so Charles Stevens could be a factor here at the end of the race. Justin Miller, a little bit of damage on that 26, who's gotten into the wall just a little bit, but still running in 7th place. Started in 4th, just dropped back a few spots. And Shepard has made up a lot of time, up 6 spots where he started in that 43 CDR machine. Todd Schott in the double lock. Ford F-150, he is in 9th. He has made up 4 spots from where he started. In 75, Chuck Pegleg-Phelps running that hot line. How that's working out, but it's doing pretty good as he's in the top 10 right now, running in 10th. Having himself a pretty good race. Right behind him, Tony Etcherson, who has just gone a lap down. Running in 11th, Willie Evernham in 2, running in 12th. He is having he's on the struggle bus right now. Dropped quite a few spots on the start. Went into pit road, so he's trying to make up that time. We'll see as the pits cycle around. You see him going down to the inside of Dana. Definitely a tire advantage there. We'll see if he cycles around and makes up any spots. Alan Smith in 13th. Matt Rogers in 14th. Kyle Roberts in 15th. Go back up front. Like I said, starting to heat up. As the top 4 kind of squished together, as Garrett Kinder has been right on the back bumper of the 95 all race long. It seems like now Chris Carroll has run them down, entered the picture with Ray Rogers about 2 seconds behind him. And Ray Rogers and Chris Carroll just way faster than these top 2, about 2/10, which is I feel like is a lot considering the skill level is pretty close. So the tire saving, taking it easy that the 9751 did definitely made a difference, as they are much, much faster than these top 2. See the 97 get all kind of out of shape along with the 95. So these guys, even though they're at the end of these tire cycles, they're not taking it easy. I'd be interested, like I said, to know what the fuel is going to be. When you go in multiple laps down, man, pitting early is a scary thing. So you really want to run the tank out. But if you're able to not get a caution, we stay green, man, it can be a big benefit to go ahead and pit, especially if you're starting to lose positions, as Garrett Kinder under 5 from the 97, Chris Carroll. As they battle side by side through the corner. Garrett Kinder not going to give this spot up. I can't really make a case for giving the spot up or fighting for it, so I think if give Chris Carroll a spot. I mean, that's pretty much could be a good way to end your race early. Is Garrett Kinder gets a run off the top side, can go down the inside and see if he can make it work. I think the 97 will get the run off the top as Garrett Kinder immediately goes down pit road. So that should start. That should be the domino that starts everything. Is Charles Stevens Jr. coming in as well, right behind him in the 88. I would be surprised if more people don't start hitting pit road almost immediately. Justin Miller coming down, so a lot of pro man got pitting together. We'll see what Chris Bedwell, Chris Carroll. So everybody coming down pit road now as Chris Carroll gets sideways entering in pit road. So green flag pit stops here at Richmond. We'd love to see it after that early caution. And we're going to see who gets on and off pit road the best is green flag pit stop, especially here at Richmond. It's super important to get in your box, get off pit road as quickly as possible. We'll see who's the best at it. As everybody's sort of pitting together as Ray Rogers now comes down pit road, gives up the lead. So everybody coming down pit road. Don't see anybody that has yet to pit. And Ray Rogers still being scored the leader as everything starts to cycle around. We'll see as they come off pit road. Garrett Kinder with that one lap earlier pit stop, he was able to jump over Chris Carroll and Chris Bedwell. So the 13 should cycle around to the lead. Right now it's Chuck Pegleg-Phelps who has yet to pit. So he is the current leader. Garrett Kinder comes out with the lead of the folks who have already made their pit stop. So should cycle around. Of course, Chuck would love to see a caution right now as he's about 2 seconds ahead of Garrett. Get a caution to retain that lead, but hey, these are pretty important bonus points for leading a lap. As we saw, the 10 points separated 4th place to 11th place. See Garrett Kinder in the 13 did a great job getting on and off pit road. That doesn't surprise me the least bit as he goes around Chuck on those old tires. It is a three-way battle here for 3rd place. Ray Rogers trying to go to the inside of Alan Smith, who is a lap down at this point. Ray Rogers trying to join this little front group as Chuck Pegleg-Phelps now makes his way down pit road. So Willie Evernham did a great job. He pitted really, really early, almost 30 laps before these guys, able to get back up to 5th place, but now he's just in a tough spot where he's going to have to nurse those tires all the way to the end. That's going to be a tough ask. But he's got 3 seconds on Charles Stevens Jr., 8 on William Griffith, so it's definitely possible. I mean, if everything stays green, he's definitely going to come away with a 7th place position, most likely. So did a really good job getting into the 5th place, though. Let's go back up front. This is where the action, everybody kind of spread out at this point. Try to catch any kind of racing that I see, but right now the lead, unfortunately, for those of you who hate to see the leaders, unfortunately this is the best race on the track right now as we are watching these guys with Ray Rogers 2 seconds behind. He is putting down fastest lap of the race for him, so he is definitely wanting to be a part of this. Top 4 all within about a second and a half at this point. You see all 4 going by right there. And of course, it's you know, there is a case to be made that this is a very good candidate. You know, these 4 drivers, good candidate for the Final 4 at Phoenix this season. All 4 of these drivers have been really, really fast. Of course, you know, a couple drivers that aren't here tonight that I expect to see battling for that. Hopefully they're able to make it next week. We'll see how the points shake up with that. But, you know, it would be hard for me to say that this is not a pretty good top 4. So we may be seeing a little preview for championship night over at Phoenix. We got Roger Miller, Stephen McDonald, Kevin Kinder in chat. So, Stephen Dawson grips up on the wheel tonight. Yeah, he is. We've already seen tire saving be important. You know, we watched the 97 and the 51 kind of work their way through the field after saving tires. So I don't know if Garrett Kinder and Chris Bedwell, you know, did they get the memo? Did they see what was happening? Did somebody communicate with that with them? How much tire saving are you going to do, knowing that it was possible we run to the end here? We already saw the 97-51 do it. You know, how much are people saving? How hard are they driving now? You know, that'll be interesting to see as we get close to the end of this one. Who is saving? Who is going all out? He'll be there at the end. Man, this battle heating up. Got lap traffic in front of the 13. That's going to be even tougher to deal with. These guys don't want to go another lap down. You see the 13 going to catch the 35 right off of turn 2. You see the momentum that he loses having to deal with that. As the top 3 right on top of each other with Ray Rogers right behind him. So if you're Garrett Kinder, what do you do here? It's so tough, man. You don't want to let anybody by. He saw how difficult it was to make a pass or even kind of make any kind of ground up there towards the middle and the end of the run. You kind of get stuck behind that 95, so definitely doesn't want to let him by. But how hard do you fight knowing that you're going to use your tires up? How hard do you drive? I mean, right now you want that 97 to get up there and battle the 95 and give you a chance to start to pull away. But, you know, it seems like the 97-51 picking up the pace here early in the run. So will they be able to make moves later on like they were at the end of the first one after saving so much early on? It gets different when you get up towards the front and you have to really put a lot more. Oh, you see the 95 get super loose off the corner, and that opens the door for the 97 on the outside. They're going to get super close off the corner. I think 95 is going to struggle here, but he's going to give a really good fight. Looks like that outside when you're making passes is a solid choice. Boy, they are side by side coming off the corner. Great racing here as you see the 95 drive deep down in the corner, try to push that 97 up. Going to need every bit of exit he can get. And the top side has been really, really strong. Garrett Kinder loving this. There's always a little bit of net code as the 97 goes around. They were super close. And the 97 still saving it, and they get it they get it together. But a big net code there is I'm sure Chris Carroll won't see it that way, but I think we all saw it on the broadcast while Bedwell was close to him. There was still a pretty big gap there, so net code, they were able to get it done, and Chris Carroll able to get that thing wrapped back up. Let's go back and check that out. See, he is all the way sideways, hanging onto it. Gets back on the gas. Tires hot. Does a great job of saving that thing. So we'll go back one more time and watch that from the far chase view so we can see if it was indeed net code. Like I said, the 95 really, really close here. And you see a little bit of gap. Just guys racing hard. And Chris Carroll with a fantastic save there. So good job by all to get out of that thing without much issue. Now, one thing about it, and Garrett Kinder going to love that, because what happened to Chris Carroll, he heated those tires up, so did Bedwell. Both of those guys trying to save it. And while Chris Carroll definitely can manage any set of tires, that's going to heat those things up in iRacing. Percentage not really important. Heat in the tires is everything. And you can't just cool them off. There's no puddles to go run through. You can't run them through an air conditioning. At this point, after that little slide right there, he really heated him up. He's not going to be able to cool him down. He can take it easy, back off a little bit, and that will let him cool down just a little bit. But without a caution, those tires are now pretty hot, and he's going to have to really nurse those things to get them back competitive. So Garrett Cantor loving to see that. Should be up to pull away just a little bit. He's just got to deal with all this damn traffic that's in front of him. Look. Golly. Of course, obviously, as you're running for the championship, you are currently leading the race. You got 3 of the best drivers in Apex breathing down your neck. What you want is everybody to move over. Like, hey, just get out of the way. That's the least stressful thing. But man, you know, I know I say it sound like a broken record, but you know, everybody's racing for something. And so these guys back here, they're just not dealing with it. They're not here for fodder. They're here racing for position. They're racing for chances in the playoffs. So they are here racing their guts out. And there is no obligation for them to get out of the way. So Garrett Cantor, or any leader in particular, not able to guarantee that they're going to have a clear track. Fight. Here's Carroll going to the inside of Todd Schock, put him a lap down. That leaves a 7 driver. Pretty good little green flag race here. I love it. It's some really good racing, and guys beating and banging a little bit, able to hang on to these cars, these trucks. And Garrett Cantor right now a little boxed in as Justin Miller, Tony Edgerton fighting for position. These are for position. Garrett Cantor goes around the outside. Gonna try the same here on Tony, I'm sure. As Matt Rogers, Kyle Roberts slow down on the exit of the corner, may just be getting out of the way, not real sure. As Tony Edgerton drives that 77 in the corner, he is fighting. As he comes down and almost chops the nose of the 13 off. That's a scary proposition. Not sure I would do that. And he's going to be able to get by the 77, but the 97 is coming. As they're trying to see who can do it the best, who can work this lap traffic the best. Out just a little bit. He's able to get around the 75 Chuck Phelps. You know, right now is, especially towards the end of the season in the playoffs and in runs like this where we have some long green flag runs, there's a lot of, you know, how many friends did you make out on the track, and how many people did you build respect with? Because that really makes a difference on these guys letting you by or not. They may see you go, you raced me bad that one time, kind of used me up a little bit, so I'm not going to give you any room. So you want to make sure you keep those relationships good. That way when they see you coming, they might give you a break. Got a couple battles. The drivers really close to each other. Yeah, Matt Rogers going to the inside. He's got fresh tires. I think he just went down pit road. He did. He's got fresh tires, so he goes about 51. Now he's going to run on the back bumper up at 95. Kind of separating Ray Rogers from Chris Bedwell. Bedwell able to maybe make up a little bit of time. He can facilitate this pass a little bit, let the 96 go. Battle for the lead. Really hot is Willie Evernham on those new tires. on lap 88. Getting up here to pressure the 97. 97 looking to the inside, and oh my goodness, sends it down in there. And the 97 with another save as Willie really drives it in deep. Missed the corner a little bit, drives up in the back of the 97. Really aggressive from Willie there. Laps to go, the 13 Big Frig Ford F-150 out front as he's trying to punch his ticket into the round of 8 here at Richmond. It's been a fantastic race, really good green flag pit stops so far. Garrett Kinder pitting a lap early. I think, you know, if he does end up winning, which is not over yet, but that will be the call of the race for sure, and that was able to get him that track position, get him the lead, and so far it has played out really, really well. So as Willie Abraham going to the inside, he's got a couple drivers on some new tires. The 13 needs to tell him to get on out of here. You know, if you're gonna pass me on these new tires, you better go on. I ain't got time to be fighting with you. As I don't know what happened to Willie there. He got in there and was gonna pass him, but not able to make it happen. Laps to go. Garrett Kinder out to a 1.4 second lead over Chris Carroll. Back here in third. Still a battle going on between the 95 of Chris Bedwell, Ray Rogers in the 51. And then you got to go all the way back, almost 11 and a half seconds back to the 88 of Charles Stevens Jr. in 5th place. So the top 4 really separated themselves from the rest of the field. As Ray Rogers now going to the inside of the 95. How hard will Bedwell fight here? Not hard at all. Might try a little crossover, just not able to get the same run as able to. So Ray Rogers now in 3rd place. And for a lot of these drivers, I don't think a win is a lot of folks up in the top 10, a win is not needed. A win just kind of takes the pressure off a little bit. But 2nd place, Chris Carroll obviously locked in, but Ray Rogers, Chris Bedwell, Charles Stevens Jr., all those guys have really, really good point situations right now. With the drivers who are out, they are definitely going to have a nice advantage. So a good finish here. There's no need to push too hard, you know, and try anything crazy. I think a good 3rd, 4th, 5th place finish can make all the difference next week on what you have to do. We're seeing little short fields or smaller fields than normal, and with those smaller fields, you'll have a whole lot of possibilities. But 16 laps to go. Garrett Kinder out to a 1.5 second lead as Ray Rogers now able to get around Chris Carroll. Bedwell gets into the wall. See that 95 catch a little bit of that wall off of turn 2. Damage doesn't look too bad, but after that contact with Willie Abraham, it seemed like the 97 started to fall back a little bit. Don't know if he got some damage that's starting to hurt that vehicle, but we already saw him do a 4-wheel slide. So he just a little bit, and with the 13 able to get around these drivers. Now 6 cars on the lead lap as Garrett Kinder really putting on a show. And so far, a really, really complete race, but it is not over as Ray Rogers is still hunting him down. How much has the 13 saved? Has he saved enough? Of course, he's been dealing with lap traffic, so we'll check the laps as Ray Rogers is able to clear these drivers as well. So may have a battle for the lead here as we get to 10 laps to go. Just one car, Daniel Shepard, separates the 2 leaders. And he's going to stay up high. Looks like Ray Rogers. Oh, no, not quite able to do it just yet. Of course, the top 2 right now winless this season, so not only would they like to punch their ticket to the next round, but man, they sure would like to get a win, as both these drivers plenty fast enough. So Ray Rogers was faster than Garrett Kinder that last lap, even fighting with the lap car. Dan Shepard, oh, as a 51 gets loose off the corner. Good grief, that was a scary moment for Ray. As you can definitely tell, he is putting in the work trying to run this 13 machine down. We're going to have a battle here before this race is over. And it looks like now the lap cars will be over for a little while, as right in front of them Matt Rogers has a fresh tire, so it is just a battle here for the lead. What do you do if you're Garrett Kinder? I really don't know. It seems like Ray Rogers a little bit faster right now. So do you defend the top? Do you defend the bottom? What do you do? I think out of what I've seen so far, you cannot give the top up. And I think he's just going to have to make Ray Rogers pass him on the inside. Looks like it's what he's going to try to do. 13 drives deep into the corner to try to defend the entry there. Ray Rogers actually gets a really nice run off of turn 4 and able to stay right there on that left rear corner. That's dangerous as they go down in turn 1 and 2. 13 going to fight really hard, but the 51 with a fantastic drive off the corner and able to clear the 13 as we have 7 laps to go. 51 takes that top spot. And yeah, it looks like the 13 tires are just, we saw Ray Rogers, man, back there able to hang out behind that group of 3. Just biding his time, and they did it again, man. Saved those tires, and Matt Rogers gets into the wall right in front of the leaders. But with 6 laps to go, coming to 5, Ray Rogers takes commanding lead over the 13, almost 4/10 of a second now. You see the 13 back there trying all he's got to run that 51 back down. Cannot give up if you're the 13. All it takes is one little slip from the 51. We already see him do it once. It can happen again. You keep putting the pressure on him. Try to force him into a mistake. Be there to capitalize on it. Last lap, Garrett Kinder just a tad bit faster with this lap. I definitely can see where Ray Rogers has extended that gap as they cross the line. Ray Rogers 10th and about two and a half tenths faster that last lap. So 51 looking good. Tires definitely an advantage for the 51. Two laps to go. Here at Richmond, as always, want to thank Apex Sim Racing Gear for sponsoring this series. ApexSimRacing.com, check it out. Ray Rogers, winless on the season. We talked to him, he's been starting in the back, decided he's going to start qualifying as we take the APS with Absolute Product Solutions, icing the competition, final lap. And talked about how as he got to the playoffs, he's going to start qualifying. Well, he decided not to qualify tonight and turned out to be the winning move as he was able to save his tires better than anybody on the long run, as the 51 Ray Rogers comes off of turn 4 and able to get that goose egg off the win column, and the 53 is going to win. Your winner, Ray Rogers, in the 51, punches his ticket into the round of 8. Congratulations to Ray Rogers in that Toyota, and takes home the victory. What a time to win, as he can go into Kansas next week and he can start wherever the heck he wants to, because he knows he's going into the round of 8. So congratulations to Ray Rogers. As we pull up the results, see where everybody finishes tonight, as everything should be official now. Ray Rogers, Garrett Kinder, Chris Kell, your top 3. Chris Bedwell finishes in 4th place. Those guys about within 6 seconds of each other. And then there was a large gap back to Charles Stevens, William Griffith, who finished on lead lap in 5th and 6th. Dana Shepard, Todd Schott, Willie Evernham, Chuck Feltz, your top 10. Tony Edgerton, 11th. Alan Smith, 12th. Justin Miller, 13th. Kyle Roberts, 14th. And Matt Rogers, on and off pit road a few times tonight, comes home in 5th. So congratulations to Ray Rogers. Pretty good race. Long green flag run after that caution on lap 2. We go green to the end. So good run by everybody. Let's see if we can get some interviews in here. We got to give out some awards too. Paint of the night. You know, I'm trying to think if I saw any new paints. I hate to give it to someone that I've already given it to. Trying to see. I'll tell you what, we're going to give the paint of the night to the old Pepto-Bismol car of William Griffith. He's going to be the 1-inch design paint of the night. Congratulations to William Griffith. The Hard Charger Award is going to go to Ray Rogers, who was able to make up 11 spots from where he started. So congratulations. The Kyle Roberts Hard Charger, handmade leather. And go ahead and give out all the awards. I guess Matt Rogers. He had a tough night. Seemed to be on and off pit road, so we'll give him the jammed up Trigger Time Indoor Shooting Range jammed up award. I'm not really sure. He had a real tough night. I don't think anybody really had a unlucky night, but he seemed to be on and off pit road, so definitely not a great one. So anyway, let's talk to some drivers, see what they thought. Let's find out some things maybe we didn't even see. Maybe we can figure out what's going on. But we'll start with 3rd place, Chris Carroll. This Eddie in the booth, you got me.
I got you, Eddie.
Well, here we are in the Five Kings corner, and you're the one and only Five Kings driver still left in the field. As man, started in the back like you were taking it easy, ran all the way up to the front, and was able to come away with a 3rd place finish. We talked last week. We said, hey, this week for you after being locked in, hey, you can kind of play around, see what works, try out some different things. How'd that work out tonight?
Well, I think we were good until a man named Willie Evernham decided to do his dirty stuff that he does in every league. I'm going to try not to be too bad on here, Eddie, but he's been doing that to me for a year, and I'm not putting up with it.
Well, it's a time for everybody. All the competition is going to start picking up, man. Playoffs really brings out the competitive levels. People having some issues on track. A lot of times, playoffs where it all comes to a head. But is that something you take forward through next week, or I mean, how do you deal with that? How are you going to handle it, and how are you going to let it affect your playoff run as we get down towards the end of this season?
Well, I got a feeling he's going to cost me that. I'm going to say it right here. Every time I've been racing for a lead and he's a lapper, I think, honestly, I don't think his teammates want him to do it, but I think he's doing it for his teammates. And I'm gonna deal with it accordingly. If he keeps driving me like that, we'll drive him the same, and we'll get on with it. But I got a feeling going into the playoffs, that's his plan. He doesn't like me for some reason, and he's been doing it in other leagues. But I'm gonna race my race, and but I'm gonna say it out loud so everyone can see it here on the broadcast and going forward. And Aaron and all those guys that run the league, I think he's gonna do it in the playoffs on purpose to cost me the championship.
Well, hope not. Definitely don't want that kind of distraction going into the playoffs, trying to make a late playoff run. But there at the end, was it the damage that kind of made you kind of fall off there, or you just kind of hanging back trying to get that third place finish?
Yeah, I was feeling pretty good until he dove it in there and killed the truck, and then it was all over the place. But I mean, it was a fun race. Other than that, we had a good run and experimented and did what we had to do to feel what it was like coming through traffic, and just in case we get stuck there later on in rounds. And I mean, it was a fun race. It was uh, it was really good and clean out there. Me and Bedwell got together racing super hard there, but that didn't hurt me too bad. It was the damage from the dive bomb there from a lap car that I'm not sure what he was doing there.
Yeah, we saw that save between you and Bedwell, which, not that you question it, but was a little bit of net code. It was close, but it definitely was some net code. So y'all got turned around, but man, able to save it. It was a pretty good save. We watched it on the broadcast. Able to get that thing going. What were your tires like after that slide? Did it take a while for the heat to sort of normalize, or did it hurt it that bad?
Yeah, it was that was an unbelievable drive by Bedwell too, because when we touched there, we were both sideways getting in, I'm sure, and I was tap dancing on the pedals and the wheel, trying to get her straight and trying not to kill him in his lane too. I mean, that was just unfortunate. Bedwell's a really clean driver, and I thought he did an awesome job of saving that and not oversteering it into me. And but the truck was a little tighter after that, not too bad, but with the second shot, I mean, it was murdered. It was game over. That thing wouldn't turn.
Well, we'll be looking forward to see how that plays off for the rest of or plays out in the rest of the playoffs. And but hey, after all that, still a third place finish. You're already into the round of 8, but able to make up 8 spots tonight. Still a good run. As always, man, who you got to thank in sponsors, shout outs.
Always got to thank USAFirearms.com and Aaron and all these boys that put on such a tight ship here, man. This is a really fun league to run in. I got to thank you for the broadcast. I got to thank Five Kings Motorsports, Pit Lizard Performance, my friends and family, and all them watching out there. And I apologize, Eddie. I have to let that out there so it doesn't happen later on in the event.
Hey, it's your you won the podium. It's your chance to speak. So don't have any apologies needed here. Well, all right, Chris Carroll, congratulations. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Eddie. Appreciate the broadcast, man.
Yes, sir. All right, let's get our second place in here. Garrett Kinder. Garrett, this Eddie, but you got me.
Yeah, Eddie, I got you.
Well, man, a pretty dang good race from you. I'd say probably the most complete race. Um, as you did a great job staying up with Bedwell for that first run. Fantastic call to pit when you did. You come out with the lead. That track position super super important. But Ray Rogers able to hang back, save a little bit more tire. What do you think could have done a little bit different to save a little bit more at the end? I said in the broadcast that you're just in a tough position. Ray can run fourth and just take it easy and ride, where you're having to pass a lot of lap traffic that don't want to go a lap down. You're having to fight off Bedwell. It's a really tough position to be in the lead like that.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Where any one of them at any time can come up and challenge, and I got a battle with them. Well, the other two hang back and just kind of see how it plays out. So they're saving tires while I'm battling one, and then of course, lap traffic, it helped me some, hurt me some, of course. Man, I couldn't catch a break. It seemed like I caught every one of them on the exit of two. And as you know, that kills a lap by 3/4 and smokes you right front. So, man, I probably could have negotiated the lap traffic a little bit better. It would have helped me save a little bit more tire. I don't know if I would have had anything for Ray, though, man. As soon as he got clear of the lap cars behind me or between the two of us, man, he was on my bumper within a lap, and then he just kind of gauged where I was braking, where he could beat me, and it was hostile. Bye, see you later. So, man, Ray, he's one of those guys. He'll start in the back, he'll save tire, and man, he'll just show up at the end of the race and steal it from you. So, man, big shout out to him. We talk about after every race because we always end up next to each other. But real heck of a racer, heck of a guy, man. I enjoy racing Ray.
Well, let's just assume, let's put a hypothetical situation and put you in an impossible spot. Say this is Phoenix and y'all are the 4 drivers left, and right there at the end of that one, as he's going to pass you, how different do you race him there at Phoenix?
Last lap, his back bumper might hit him in the back of the head. Uh, you know,
Well,
I like racing all these guys, but you know as well as I do, this is a super competitive league, Eddie. You know, these guys, we race clean until it's time not to race clean. You know, we'll bang doors and we'll get a little sideways and have a good time, but race for a championship, racing for that premium Apex gear, man. Some Kyle Roberts custom leather wallets. Yeah, that back bumper might hit his back of his head.
Well, hey man. Well, I tell you what, definitely would have been nice to see you win this one. I was pulling for you a little bit, but second place, very solid finish. You're pretty solidly in the playoffs into the round of 8. Need to have just a not have any catastrophic failures next week, but looking good as you move into the round of 8. And you got to be feeling good as you get down to the end of these playoffs. How you feel about the next few races and the next few rounds?
Well, if you're considering a catastrophic failure of me maybe not being here next week, it might not go any further than next week. But man, if I do make it on, I mean, schedule. Man, if I remember right, his playoff schedule was absolutely insane. Loved every second of it. If you get past the first round, it was just really nice. So we'd be doing Kentucky. I like Kentucky. Turn 3 and 4 is going to be your bread and butter there. Bristol. I love Bristol. God, I love Bristol. And then Talladega, of course, your roulette wheel is going to go right there. And then Homestead, man, I think that's where every championship race should be anyway. So that would be, man, it'd be a barn burner. So, man, if we can get out of this round, I really like my chances.
Yeah, I mean, even at Talladega, I think Poman really has a strong hand going into Talladega, considering that the fields have been a little bit smaller, and you have so many drivers, so it could turn out to be a positive thing for Poman. So I would definitely bet on a Poman driver when it comes down to Talladega. Well, congratulations to Garrett, a second place finish. Know you wanted that win, but I can't think of a better person to lose to than Ray Rogers. So
You're about right. You're about right.
as always, man, floor is yours. Who you got to thank?
Man, I'll burn through them quick. Thank Kinder Farm and Ranch. They've already been texting me them, and Ratchet Speed Shop. Love having them on board. Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers. If you want to keep your stuff hot and keep your stuff cold for cheaper and longer than anybody else, make sure you check out Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers at bigfrig.com. Ray Page and Andy over at Wolfpack Racing. Great guys to know. Go talk to them. They've been busy, but season's getting ready to round up, and man, they'll be around and having a good time with us. All my teammates over here at Poman, I think most of them were gone, unfortunately, but just a lot of fun running with these guys over here and all the affiliate teams that we've got kind of hanging out with us. Short track team, Velocity, Shock Eye Performance, just and everybody that sponsors the league, Apex. Man, there's a list of them. I'm not going to bore you. I think Ray's going to go through them a second ago because we were trying to find the dang channel they were in. So all the guys that Ray says here in a minute, I want to thank them too.
All right, man. See you later.
See you.
All right, well, let's bring the race winner. Ray Rogers. First win of the season. Ray, the stadium booth. Got me?
Yes, sir.
Well, we've been talking about, man, where that win was going to come. We've been talking about how you need to be qualifying, get up front. And all season long, you've been kind of there. We've had some long green flag run races where starting in the back just could not get up there in time, needed cautions to get back into it. And you've been qualifying up front, not able to get that win. And tonight you start in the back, and dadgum if you don't come through the field and win the thing in not dramatic fashion, just smooth like a knife through warm butter. Talk to me about your race, Ray.
Yeah, I just started at the back. A lot of laps. I wanted to save a little bit of fuel to make sure I can make it to at least past halfway, so we can hopefully make it a two caution or you know whatever you want to call it. Anyways, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
I can't spit it out. But anyways, yeah. I just took my time, just made my way through through some traffic, and then that traffic was kind of hurting me a little bit there, but I knew if I had a long green lap front, but then again, I seen Chris Carroll. He's good on long runs too, but I seen him starting to have little problems there. So I figured, okay, I got an opportunity here, and just no yellows. And we got very fortunate there, no yellows, and then By the time I got to Garrett, it worked out. I got around him, and I still had plenty to go, so it worked out.
Yeah, it seemed like saving that fuel like you did was kind of the race winner on tires. It just seemed like y'all had the most. You and Carroll had the most at the end of those runs, and then talked to Garrett a little bit about how you were running fourth and just kind of hanging out. It seemed like you're able just to watch those guys battle it out, keep them close, and then when the time came to make your move, you had plenty of tire to do it. It didn't seem like anybody was able to fight with you. So. Um, Pretty good job saving tires, man. I think it's have to say that's pretty impressive. A clinic almost on how to do it. As man, you were able to kind of Kevin Harvick that one a little bit, where you hit the button at the right time, and there you were. So, man, congratulations. Not a better time to get your first win and punch your ticket into the round of 8. As here in Richmond is Kansas. Can be a tough one with a lot of being sort of a drafty track. So, um, probably a pretty good time to get that win. What do you say?
Oh man, it's nice to be able to get that monkey off your back there, and the race with those guys. They're a lot of fun to race with, very clean guys, and like you said, yeah, I was running in fourth there through so much lap traffic, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to let these guys figure all this out, and I'm just going to sit back and ride and let it kind of fan out a little bit, and it did. And but those guys were racing so hard to get around those lap cars, and I just sat back and waited, and it paid off.
Well, that's what you got to do to win races, especially here. As man, the competition just stout. The top 4 here could easily be the top 4 in Phoenix. So good little preview, I would say, to what could be at Phoenix. So congratulations, Ray. As always, who you got to thank? Any sponsors or shout outs?
First, always Aaron. He puts this up for us. I appreciate what he does and all the time he puts into doing this. Obviously, as well as you, take time out of your schedule to come in here and just and do this for us and put it on the stream. And all these sponsors that also make it happen. Peg Leg, Garrett Kinder Farm, 1 Inch Design, Borkhart Recycling, Wreckage Rewind, Kyle Roberts, uh, Trigger Time. I mean, all these guys that make it happen. I appreciate every one of them.
Well, there you have it. First time winner on the season, Ray Rogers, punching his ticket into the top 8. And we'll look forward to see what you do the rest of the playoffs, Ray.
Thank you, buddy. You have a good night.
Well, there you have it. Finally, Ray Rogers getting into the victory circle, and not surprising it took this long, but now is the perfect time to be hitting a hot streak. Ray Rogers looking really strong. A lot of guys making up some points. We'll see. The points don't get updated till a little bit later, so we won't have live points, but. There's going to be some shakeups. I mean, Chris McLean, we'll pull up the standings one more time. Of course, you can see right there the playoff bracket. You just pencil in Rogers there on that second line. So now Chris Carroll, Ray Rogers can look ahead to Bristol, Talladega, Homestead, get ready for those races, and everybody else going to be looking forward to Kansas. Who can get themselves in? Who is going to be out? There's a lot of drivers on the outside looking in. This is before the races. It's not live, but you'll see some drivers that weren't here tonight. Jason Raymond, Chris McLean, all out. So they are, third and fourth. Ray Rogers, obviously with the win, is going to put him in. Garrett Kinder right behind him, so he should jump up a couple spots. Charles Stevens with a fantastic fifth place finish should jump up a spot or two as well. And then you have Aaron Adcock, who missed tonight, as I think he texted me saying they were driving back from work, so tough deal to miss that race. But all those drivers have definitely ability to win and get a win next week at Kansas. So a lot of opportunity. But outside the bubble before the race, Anthony Edgerton, who was able to get an 11th place finish tonight, so should make up a good amount of points. Alan Smith had a tough night, finished in 12th. So he is on the outside looking in. Chuck Phelps, Matt Rogers, George Williams, Willie Evernham, Justin Miller, all needing a win next week for sure to get in, most likely. So we'll see as the points are posted in Discord. Definitely go check those out. And of course, you see Alex Coffey down there, but he hasn't shown up in a few weeks, so he could show up next week, I guess, and get a win. But love to see that. Love to see Alex back. But haven't heard from him in a while, so may not. So, but pretty much everybody from I would say we'll see how it all plays out. But a lot of guys who missed tonight, I think we're gonna have to see. They're gonna have to win to get in. But anyway, that was a fun race. Thanks to all our sponsors, everybody that's watching. All of our sponsors that we showed up on Trigger Time, Apex, Sim Racing Gear, of course, 1 Inch Designs, Chuck Pegleg Felts, Kyle Roberts Handmade Leather, Eric Burkhalter and Recycling and Demolition, Kinder Farm and Ranch as always, and Five Kings Network. Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Adcock. Thank you very much for putting this series on. Thank you for allowing me to broadcast. And we will see y'all next week as we have the cutoff race. And we'll send 8 drivers home and 8 on to the championship.